Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
How's it going, Andrew?
Pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty bad. No,
I'm
just
doing the
playing.
podcast with you.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that, and then I'm like, never
Yeah,
mind.
I had a feeling you would say something like that.
Yeah. I'm chilling right now, though. I'm doing good. What about you?
I've been chilling. Finally getting to the last stretch, the long stretch of school. Right, we're almost over. And then we got
It's
summer.
almost summer. Then we gotta work.
Oh yeah.
This is work. What we're doing now. This is work, but we gotta go to work where we get paid.
I love that. I cannot wait. Oh God.
I can wait. Like I'm not trying to do this.
Yeah. But there is something that I cannot wait for, and that is the NBA playoffs, which are starting this weekend. So for
Yeah,
this
it's
episode, me and Andrew will be talking about our predictions for the play-in tournament that are happening. When are they happening? Tomorrow?
and it's happening tomorrow for the Eastern Conference and the next day for the Western Conference.
There we go. And we will also be talking about our predictions for the first round of the NBA playoffs, which start this weekend. So why don't we start off with the play-in tournament? Let's start with the East. The 7th and 8th seed are the Celtics and Wizards. And just to recap about the play-in tournament, if you forgot how it works, the 7th and 8th seed play each other. The 9th and 10th seed play each other. The 7th and 8th seeds only need to win one game in order to make it to the playoffs. And the 9 and 10th seeds need to win two games in a row in order to make it to the playoffs. So starting with the 7th seed, the Celtics versus the 8th seed, the Wizards. Who you got winning that matchup?
This is a hard one, in my opinion.
Mhm.
The Celtics have not been playing great basketball over the past few weeks, and they've dropped in seeding, and the Wizards have been playing absolutely phenomenal basketball. And if I'm being honest, there's no one to guard Russ, and there's no one to guard Beal. They can guard the forwards and the center. They cannot guard for the guards.
Yeah.
So there's no one on the Wizards that can guard Tatum, and Beal will probably do a decent job stopping Brown, and Russ will probably do a decent job of stopping Kemba. So it's tough because you have two superstars or stars on one end, and then one superstar, in my opinion, on the other side. So it's really hard, and I haven't even finished my pick. So I'm gonna let you pick first.
Yeah, this is also really hard. Well, one thing I genuinely don't know is every player in the Celtics going to play? Or I mean, like all the big guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, because I know
You
that
know
they've been
what?
like
I
dealing with
will.
like
Yeah, they have
injury.
been dealing with injuries, and you know what? I'm gonna go check that right now
I mean, I would.
because I believe that Kemba is coming off an injury, so he's not going to be as strong. I think Jaylen Brown
I think the
is.
only one that we need to worry about the most though is Jaylen Brown because he was out for a good amount of time, right? Jason Tatum has been in, Kimba has been day to day more or less, but Jaylen Brown is, I think, the big question about this because
Jaylen Brown is out. Oh,
he'll be out.
I think he's out for the season.
No
He
way.
May 13th, Brown underwent successful surgery Thursday and is expected to return to basketball activities in about 3 months, according to Shams Charania.
Yeah, no, he's not playing the rest of the year. Then, yeah, I go with
That's
Wizards.
really good for Bradley Beal. That is really good for Bradley Beal.
Very good, and I go with the Wizards on this one. If that is
Now
the
that I
case,
realize that, that's a killer. I
Mhm.
love Jason Tatum, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. But
Unless he can have another 60-point game, it's very unlikely. But the other thing that is also going to hurt the Wizards is Beal's just coming off an injury.
yeah,
Right?
he came off an injury a few games ago.
We can't forget that. Well, no, what was it? Yeah, yesterday was his first game off injury. No, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, and I mean, he did pretty well. He had like I think 20 points, something like
Yeah,
that. But obviously, it's
but he
not.
also was on a minutes restriction.
Yeah. So we got to take that into account. But knowing that it's probably going to be Wizards, but I got to mention for the Celtics, I got to give them some praise. Is that I was texting you about this about when the Celtics played the Knicks. The Celtics reserves almost beat the Knicks. none of the Celtics start like Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Kemba, Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice. All those guys were out. It was the reserves that were playing, and the entire Knicks roster was playing. Yet the Celtics almost won. I don't
Oh, yeah,
know.
they came back down from 17 or 21. I'm not
It,
sure what it was. They did
it
a good
was
job.
it was
But
nuts.
I was not really worried during
I
the.
wasn't worried either. I was just like thinking that's like insane that almost happened. Another comeback. But yeah, so we both got Wizards for that one. So let's go to the 9 and 10 then. Pacers and the Hornets. What you got for that one?
Pacers. I think LaMelo Ball is gonna come out very well during his rookie year, but I think that it's gonna end in this game. And if it doesn't, praise to him. He's gonna have to go up against the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So no one's able to guard LaMelo Ball unless it's a big man. But I'm picking Pacers, but I love the Hornets and how they've been playing this year. So I'm not counting them out. They're fighters. They're very good.
Yeah. I love the Hornets. They're a great organization. I mean, well, for the past few years, they haven't been great, but this year they've been good. They have
Yep.
a great all-around guys. They have one of the best young franchises in the league right now.
Yep.
And obviously they have probably the best announcers in the NBA.
Yes, and also in my opinion, I think that they would have been the 7th seed if LaMelo Ball didn't get injured.
Probably.
They were the 4th seed, and then the Knicks, Hawks, and Heat started winning a ton of games.
I mean,
With
yeah,
LaMelo Ball missing around 22 games, I think they win 50% of those.
Yeah.
Whereas they lost more than 50%, so they went about 4 more games. That puts them at the 7th seed.
Yeah, and a lot of their top guys took a toll on LaMelo Ball not playing, such as Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham, Miles Bridges.
Yep.
But I mean, there also were some guys that started to come out more. PJ Washington, guys like him. But yeah, I think it's going to be Pacers coming out on this one. They just have a better overall team, right? They're better. I think they're better offensively. I think they're slightly better defensively. They're not. Neither team is amazing defensively, but the Pacers are just generally better. And the other thing, it's Gordon Hayward's injured. He's not going to be playing. And he's also one of the best players for the Hornets.
Yep.
So that's going to be a total.
Painful.
So if we got Wizards making it to the 7th seed, and we got it being Celtics, Pacers. What we got for that?
Celtics, Pacers?
That would be the second game in the play-in tournament for the East to decide who is going to make the 8th seed.
Celtics, no question. Celtics beat them. They swept them last year. That was the Heat. They swept them 2 years ago, and then they beat them again that other year in the season series. No question.
It was a completely different team 2 years ago, but yeah.
Still.
Yeah. Gonna give it props. So yeah, we got Wizards being the 7th seed in the East, and the Celtics being the 8th seed in the East as well. So let's go to the West, right? Probably one of if we thought about this in the beginning of the year, one of the most unlikely matchups to see in the play-in tournament. But the 7th seed Lakers are playing the 8th seed Warriors, and then the 9th seed Grizzlies are playing the 10th seed Spurs. So
I'll start off with the Grizzlies and Spurs first.
Okay.
We'll leave some room for the Lakers Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Grizzlies, no question.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no explanation for this.
Agreed.
Spurs. Besides DeMar DeRozan having a chance. But
yeah,
come on, it's DeMar. He can't do that much.
Exactly.
Now, Lakers Warriors. What's your pick and your reasoning?
My pick?
Yep.
Well, I Lakers.
Well, wait, Lakers.
Yeah. Well, everyone's going to be in. It's going to be a fully healthy Lakers team for the first time in a while. Right? LeBron will be Anthony Davis. Dennis Schroeder's coming back from having COVID. But I do have the Warriors beating the Grizzlies to make that 8th seed because of the tear that Steph is going on. And they played against each other in the last game, and he went on a tear in the end of the game. So those are my picks. Don't tell me you got Warriors beating the
No, I'm Mr. Shanker.
God.
I'm just playing. I got the Lakers winning. But I will say, if Steph goes off, which I'm expecting he will,
Mhm.
It's going to be a really, really entertaining game. And another key, LeBron's still not fully healthy. It
Mhm.
depends on how he plays against a good defender who is Andrew Wiggins, who I think has a lot of length and he has enough impact on defense to not change LeBron's game but slightly affect it. LeBron's not going to be as good scoring wise. He's going to have to pass more. And for this game, it really depends on Anthony Davis once again, because if he doesn't have a good game, they're going to lose. So, because we know Steph is going to go off. We know LeBron is going to be LeBron. We don't know if Anthony Davis is going to be Anthony Davis, judging by his play this season. Defensively, he'll be good. Offensively, he's been a problem.
I agree. Offensively, he's been very inconsistent. He'll either have 10 points one game or he'll go off for 28, 29, whatever. It's something he needs to work on, especially going down since we're in the play. They'll practically
We'll see how he does in the
playoffs,
playoffs.
right? They need to go back to what they were doing at last playoffs and that type of play. So yeah, both got Lakers 7th, Warriors 8th. So far, so good. So
Warriors, Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Warriors. Let's move on.
Yeah, no explanation needed. The West. Let's talk about the West playoffs first round. So
it'll be Utah versus the Warriors if our predictions are right.
Mm-hmm.
Utah. Who you got?
Utah.
How many games though?
How many games? You know what? I will say the Warriors will get one. Is Donovan Mitchell playing? Yes, right?
Donovan Mitchell will be playing apparently later in the round. So I see the series tied 1-1. And they said he's going to come around game 2 to game 4-ish area, apparently. This is what I'm hearing. I'm not sure if this is true, but that's what I've heard. And if that happens, I see the Jazz up 2-1. Mitchell comes back game 4. Curry wins the game. And then the series ends in 6 games. I think Steph Curry's going to cap off his season by doing ridiculous in this series.
Yeah, I know that some people will say that it'll be a sweep. I agree with you. I think that the Warriors will. I'll safely say that they'll be able to get one win. I'm not exactly sure about 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a sweep. Steph Curry is the second best point guard of all time. And right now, he's playing like he's the best player in the world, averaging 40 points or high 30s right now over the last month.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All right, now this second seed Suns are playing the Lakers.
This is going to be a 7-game series.
Agreed.
I'm saying this right here.
Who you got winning though?
I am going to be honest here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest, and you're going to get mad at me for this.
You're going to say the Suns, aren't you?
I'm going to say Chris Paul is going to lead the Suns to the promised land. And in my opinion,
yeah,
I can see the Suns coming out of the West. Obviously.
You mean
you know what?
For the finals? No.
Yes, if the Suns beat the Lakers, they're 100% going to the finals.
Yes.
They're better than the Clippers. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. You just disagree with me.
No, I said it. You said if the Suns beat the Lakers, that they'll go to the finals.
Come out of the West.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah. So I think that they're the best team in the West. I think that they're better than the Jazz. The Jazz are not, we'll see how they do. Mm-hmm. But I think the only team that would have a chance to beat the Suns are the Nuggets. I don't think the Clippers, I love the Clippers again. This is really tough, and I feel like I'm going to regret a lot of what I'm saying now, but I'm going to stick with my gut. I have the Suns winning in Game 7. Chris Paul's going to clutch up because all the Lakers have is Anthony Davis and LeBron and solid-ish players. The Suns have an extremely well-rounded team. They got Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, solid defense. And I can see Chris Paul leading this team to the finals. At what, 36 years old?
Jesus, yeah.
All right. That's my take.
All right. Biased opinion. Lakers sweep every single round and make it to the finals and sweep the Nets.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. No, but seriously, this is probably the one round I genuinely have no idea because there's so many factors that can go into this. One, in terms of the Suns, this is Devin Booker's first playoffs, right? We don't. There's so much.
Well, Devin Booker was basically what happened with Devin Booker last year. Think about that. He was almost bubble MVP and he went 8-0.
Yeah,
That
but that
is no. That is pressure. That is pressure.
That
He
is
won
pressure.
every single game and he almost brought them to the playoffs. I'm sorry. That is pressure.
That's true, but still, he's never been to the playoffs. The playoffs is a completely different game. Obviously, yeah, like you said, he did a lot and he carried that team.
But look at what happened with AD. AD never played in the finals. Look how good he did.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to depend on how he's going to play because obviously we know Chris Paul will score, but he's not a scorer. He's not the top scorer on that team. That's
going to be a good playmaker,
right? Yeah, that's what Chris Paul does. He'll be a leader. And so that's part of the Suns. And like you said again, I'm just reemphasizing for the Lakers, that probably the number one thing that's going to matter is AD. Because we know LeBron will do what he has been doing. He'll score, not as much as he used to. He'll pass the ball a lot. He'll get the rebounds, do whatever. The supporting cast will generally have their sparks, and some of them will have good games. Some one game, then the next game they'll have bad games. It'll be off and on, but it's going to be Anthony Davis. If he can be consistently good, or if he can just have some consistency, then they can pull through.
Yep. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nuggets, Blazers. I have Nuggets. I think Jokic is going to go back to MVP form. And that's it.
Yeah.
It'll be ridiculous.
I have Nuggets too, but I think it'll probably go to game 6 or 7.
I'm saying 6. I don't think it'll go to 7.
Yeah. Because honestly, I was looking at the stats for the Trailblazers. And the Trailblazers offense, it gets overlooked so much. They're very underrated in terms of their offense.
I don't think they're underrated.
Listen to this. Ready? We talk obviously the Nets have historically one of the best offenses of all time. They have an offensive rating of 117.3, which is just unbelievable. The Trailblazers, 117.1.
Mr. Shanker, Kevin Durant did not play for a lot of the season. James Harden did not play for a good amount of the season. And Kyrie Irving was not playing for a few games. And I am not saying that the Blazers have a bad offense. They are not underrated. I'm sorry.
You don't think their offense is underrated?
Hell no. I think it's just right. They have Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
They have a good offense. I'm not saying they have a bad offense. They are not underrated.
Yeah, but I still think it gets overlooked, and people should have been looking at it more. The problem with the Trailblazers is that their defense is god awful.
Yes, it is, but their offense is not overlooked. I'm sorry.
I think it is. I think the reason that people don't look at the Trailblazers as much is because of their terrible defense. If they had a semi-good defense, they'd be a top team. But
I don't think they're underrated. But anyways, you got Nuggets at 6 or 7. I got Nuggets in 6 max. Yep. I got Clippers and Mavericks on the next one, and I can see this the same as last year. Clippers in 6.
Agreed. Honestly, Clippers in 5. I've given up on the Mavericks.
That's true. Kristaps isn't doing as good as he was last year.
It's really just Luka.
It's all about how Luka plays. If he plays good, then they'll win.
I mean, he needs to be extremely clutch because they honestly do have talent in their supporting cast. Like, not bad. I mean, Josh Richardson used to be a pretty good player. Jalen Brunson has his sparks. The problem is they're so inconsistent.
Yep.
Like they can't.
They really are.
They can't do anything, man. Like, what the hell? It's literally gonna be Luka carrying everybody on his back.
It really is. It really is, and we'll see how that goes, though.
Yes.
All right, but I'd like to make a solid announcement very quickly.
Let's hear it.
If LeBron loses in the first round, I don't want to hear any more of him being the greatest of all time. I don't want to hear any of that. If he loses, he is not the GOAT at all. There's no way.
Andrew, after the 2018 playoffs, I've been saying LeBron's the GOAT, and there's nothing that'll change my mind.
Oh, yeah, there is. I'm going to change your mind because LeBron
never
GOATs don't lose in the first round when they had won the championship before the last year. I'm sorry. If LeBron loses in the first round, he is not the GOAT. I'm sorry. Goats. That's not goat behavior.
You're not going to take into effect that he was injured for an entire month, and he's gotten worse because of that injury.
I'll take
And
account
it's
into the fact that Michael Jordan was out for almost the entire season. He had a broken foot. He came back and he scored 63 points on Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, all those guys. That's what I take into account.
and still lost. All right, let's go to the East.
Yeah, where was LeBron in his second year? Off season. Went straight to the off season.
Really?
Yes, really.
Yet the
Did not make the
Cavs had
playoffs for the first 2 years.
The Cavs had absolutely nobody. I repeat.
And you know what? The Chicago Bulls had absolutely nobody. They were worse than those Cavs teams. And I will prove that to you in our GOAT debate when it comes. I will tell you guys right now, that episode, if we go unedited, that episode will last hours. Let's get past to the East, and then I am going to bed because I am tired.
All right. 76ers are going to be, well, according to our predictions, we'll play against the Celtics. I think it's a no-brainer, 76ers.
76ers in 5.
Yeah, honestly, if Jaylen Brown's not playing, 4.
No way. Oh, well, no, not 4. Come on. The Celtics swept them last year, though.
The thing
without
is,
Ben Simmons.
First off, the Sixers are a completely revamped team with Doc Rivers. They're not the same team that they were last year. And
no, obviously not. But I still think that they're somewhat of the same team.
Yeah, but their players are much better. And I think, well, Joel goes back to being one of the best players in the league. Definitely a sweep.
Yep. He's top 10 now.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah. Nets against our predictions, the Wizards. Oh my God.
What do you mean, oh my God? Russ is going to be a sweep.
Russ against KD.
This is going to be a sweep.
No, but obviously it's going to be a sweep.
That's going to be crazy. But they like each other now. I'm saying sweep.
I know, but I wish it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. That would have been so much more fun to watch.
There was a chance that the Thunder would have been able to beat the Warriors, but they couldn't get past the first round. My nightmares that I've had since those days. I miss them.
Oh, God. All right, the number 3 seed Bucks against the number 6 seed Heat. I got Bucks coming out on this one. I think that they
5 games.
5-6 games, yeah. I think that they're very close, but compared to last year, the Bucks defense is obviously better now that they have Jrue Holiday.
Oh, 1,000%. They don't have the Heat don't have anyone to guard Jrue Holiday. And that's going to be the big difference maker. The Heat were ridiculous last year. Jimmy Butler was phenomenal. We'll see how well he does, but Jimmy Butler is going to be the factor again. And Giannis, we'll see how he plays. Hopefully he doesn't get injured again, because that really sucked when he got injured in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. All right, and let's go to the last and final matchup.
My favorite series of the first round, hands down. Knicks versus the Hawks. And you know what, Mr. Schenker?
What's up?
The New York Knicks are going to the second round for the first time since 2013. The New York Knicks have made it to the promised land.
Trey, are you kidding me? Trae Young? He's so good. He shoots shots from half court and misses them because he thinks he's Steph. And then he draws fouls half the game. He's going to beat the Knicks.
You're such a Trae Young hater.
I hate Trae Young.
You're such a Trae Young hater.
I
don't like him, but I don't hate him like you.
I just think, like Steve Nash was saying, he's ruining the game.
You're ruining the game.
Sorry.
All right, but yes, Julius Randle is going to lead the Knicks past the Hawks. I don't care in how many games. They will win.
Sweet.
100%. There's no way that the Hawks are going to be able to get through this. Derrick Rose is going to be the unsung hero. And if the Knicks go down, he's going to bring them back up because Derrick Rose is Derrick Rose. He is still a phenomenal player. He's 32 years old, and he's averaging around 18 points in games that he does well in.
Mm-hmm. Bring out the room because I think it's going to be a sweep.
I think it's going to be about 5 or 6 games. But I don't care how many games it's in. The Knicks are winning.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
Well, that's our predictions. That's all for today, everyone.
Feel free to comment down below what you thought were on our predictions and who you think is the GOAT, because we want to see who you think is the GOAT in preparation for our GOAT debate. because we all know that Michael Jordan is the best player of all time. And there is no need to be made. Thank you. Tune into the next episode on Friday, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Brian Scalabrine is the GOAT. Thanks, everyone.